Wait.
Yeah.
Oops.
The Alderman office, so it's the old plan review room, that's what's up going on. Next to the-
Need someone to record it all.
Did I show it to you? Oh, I forgot about it.
That's exactly.
If you want, if you guys use it and you decide you want some,
Just let you know.
let me know. Well, let me put in a budget request to
Yes.
see if it'll,
Or else.
you can put in whatever request you want.
No, I ain't going there. Pay it.
I feel like it's
You better just shut that mic down.
Mine's off.
Here, you got a budget.
I ran, so now I'm out of breath.
Okay, let me see here.
This came to me the other day. I don't know why. I have no idea.
All in your eyes.
Oh,
Came
wait,
to that number.
I gotta reset.
Get yourself set. 2 minutes is minimum.
I'm glad it didn't come to me.
Okay.
It's pretty.
Welcome, everybody. We could have roll call, please.
Alderman Spargattis.
Here.
Alderman Talanier.
Here.
Alderman Parker.
Here.
Alderman Shipp.
Here.
Alderman Geenan.
Present.
Alderman Clark, absent. Alderman Mayberry.
Here.
Mayor Tomes.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. Pledge allegiance. We could just have a moment of silence, please. Thank you. Item number 5.
Minutes of the meeting of August 14, 2017.
Motion to approve the minutes is printed.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Item number 6, update. Got a couple items here, so bear with me, but surplus vehicles. The City of Rock Island surplus vehicles will be available for purchase on a first-come, first-served basis beginning Tuesday, August 29th, and runs through Thursday, August 31st. A vehicle list, purchase instructions, and the ability to view the vehicles will start on August 29th at the Fleet Service Division located at 1309 Mill Street in Rock Island at 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. If you have any questions, please call the Fleet Service at 309-732-2251. We have Thursday Night Groove Concert Series. The free Thursday Night Groove Concert Series continues this season at Schwiebert Riverfront Park on Thursday, August 31st, 2017. Get ready for the Stone Flowers, covering all areas of rock, funk, and soul music. Event opens at 6 p.m. with the concert starting at 7 p.m. and goes until 9 p.m. Rock Island Happy Joe's will have pizza for sale, and Bent River beer will be available for purchase. Labor Day Parade. The 33rd Annual Rock Island Labor Day Parade is scheduled for Monday, September 4th, 2017. The first Labor Day Parade was held in 1985 as part of Rock Island's 150th birthday celebration. This year, the parade will celebrate Sing Rock Island, which will shine a spotlight on all the music makers in the community. The parade will start on 33rd Street and goes west along 18th Avenue and takes a left turn on 24th Street and disbands at Rock Island High School parking lot. Come out and celebrate. Rock Island Grand Prix. Professional kart racing, food, beverages, and family activities will take place during the Rock Island Grand Prix on Friday, September 1st, 2017, through Sunday, September 3rd, in the district of downtown Rock Island. Weekend activities run from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., with practice runs highlighted Friday night starting at 5 p.m. Admission is free for all the races. For information, go to www.rockislander.org. www.rockislandgrandprix.com. And one last one is the Rock Island Park and Recreation Foundation is having a little fundraising golf outing this Thursday. It'll be at Saukey Golf Course at 5:30 p.m. A little shotgun at 5:30 p.m. It's a little fun, 9 holes. You only need 2 people to play, a team of 2, and you only need 2 clubs. 1 club and a putter, so you have 2 clubs to play with. Play 9 holes, have some fun, raise some money for the foundation. It'll be a great time with some food and great prizes. So if you wish to do this, you can, of course, I'm sure you can call the Park and Recreation office, or you can go to www.swingforkids.myevent.com. Swingforkids.myevent.com, and invite your friends and have a little fun playing some golf and raise money for the Park Foundation. And that is all for that. Item number 7.
Presentation of the 2017 Rock Island Citizen of the Year Awards by members of the Citizen of the Year Committee and Mayor Tomes.
Members of the committee, if you wouldn't mind stepping forward, and as they step forward, this is the 30th year that the city of Rock Island is celebrating the best of Rock Island, which is our citizens. Started 30 years ago coming out of community meetings. It was a way to honor the contributions that individuals make onto the city of Rock Island. On behalf of co-chairman Alderman Parker, we welcome you here tonight. The committee consists of the previous year's winners, and the community nominates citizens in different categories who they view to be outstanding citizens of this city, and then the committee together meets. The City of Rock Island is pleased to announce tonight the 2017 Citizen of the Year in 8 different categories. The Citizens of the Year will start our parade on Labor Day, and the overall Citizen of the Year, which is announced tonight, will be the Grand Marshal of our Labor Day Parade on Monday, September 4. So without further ado, let's begin.
Good evening. My name is Grace Shirk, and I've been on the committee for many years, actually since the inception. And I'm here to recognize the business winner in our categories. And I want to thank everybody for coming and thank everyone who nominated, and most of all, thank all of you who do so much for our city. So I would like Nicole Watson-Lamb to please come forward.
Good, right?
Okay. Nicole raised 3 beautiful daughters and has lived in Rock Island for 20 years. The business she had created has been here for 18 years. She saw a need and a way to take care of her 3 girls and to help people to see the beauty in themselves, so she created this business. She also wanted her daughters to be self-sufficient and be able to take care of themselves and to show them what hard work could do. So she created a business, and she wanted it to be in the west end of Rock Island. She said, I want to help them all the young ladies of all races, to feel good about themselves. She has always been a diehard Rock Island fan, so she wanted her business to be in Rock Island. Her wig boutique, which is part of her business, specializes in helping poor and sick to feel good about themselves. She focuses on cancer patients and those with diseases like alopecia. Nicole says that her wig boutique is #1 in the country for wigs and extensions. She has outgrown her current location, and she is planning to expand, and she has already expanded so much that she has nowhere to go. And she's hoping, I hope all my aldermen and city people here, to stay right here in Rock Island. So I hope they'll make that possible for her to do that. I asked her why. Why do you do this, and why did you create it here in Rock Island? And she says, I like the diversity that Rock Island has to offer. I have been reinvesting in my community for years. And what's your most significant contribution? She says, I don't care if a person is a woman, a mom, an auntie, or a friend. We help each other. We should genuinely want to do good things for other people, for all the children and all the residents of Rock Island. I care about the people who support me, So when we help each other, it's good for the city and good for the citizens. Let people know you care about them. Be proactive. Do not sit around and complain. Make a difference. She said all this to me when I was interviewing her. So when you help others, pray for them, she said, and pray that wherever they go, they will take a piece of you with them. Well, Nicole, the city of Rock Island likes your attitude, the difference you've made in Rock Island, and we want to thank you for creating your business here in Rock Island, and we hope you're here for a very long time. Congratulations.
That's going to be hard to go after. If I could have Bernie Carmack to come up, please, for education. Bernie is in her 37th year of teaching in the Rock Island Milan School District, where she teaches kindergarten at Longfellow Liberal Arts. Bernie loves the challenge of engaging the little bodies and minds of the young students she teaches on a daily basis. She is involved with many educational organizations, the Blackhawk Reading Council, the National Education Association, along with the Illinois Education Association, the American Society for Quality. She used to be, when she was at, what was your old school? Brain fart. Here we go. Horseman. She was the Kiwanis Club Advisor Student Chapter Co-Advisor, and she has also served on many building and district level committees and task forces. When I called Bernie to interview her, she was just, she was so great to interview. She was also letting me know that she's also in the Rock Island Milan First Day Fund and Friends of the Douglas Park Committee. She's had many, many achievements, too many to even list here because we would be here all night. But one of her greatest successes that she wanted to tell me about was her success at writing, co-writing, and receiving grants. She spends a lot of her time looking at what her building or her classroom needs and trying to fulfill those with grants. She has a love of giving back to her community and the gratitude for their investment in her and her extended family. She is a very loyal person who has a great dedication and a commitment to both her classroom, her students, and the citizens of Rock Island. So please join me in giving Bernie a big round of applause for Educator of the Year for Rock Island.
Okay, good evening. All right. Good evening. We're privileged to honor Spring Forward Learning Center tonight in the category of organization. Spring Forward Learning Center continues to expand out-of-school time programs in Rock Island. This year they will grow to serve over 600 children in their after-school programs and summer camps. The SFLC places an emphasis on enrolling struggling readers first through third grade with a goal of having all program participants reading by the third grade. SFLC continues to grow large in part to the organization's partnerships. Their staff works with dozens of organizations, partnerships. Their staff works to offer a broad range of complementary programs that include STEAM, which is science, technology, engineering, art, and math, health and recreation. Program partners include, but are not limited to, the Two Rivers YMCA, Quad City Area Food Program, Augustana College, Figge Art Museum, the Putnam Museum, River Music Experience, Illinois Extension Office, Rock Island Parks and Rec, Rock Island Public Library, Blackhawk State Park, Quad City Botanical Center, and St. Mary's Monastery, Living Lands and Waters, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, and Ballet of Quad Cities. So they do a lot, don't they? Wow. In 2016, they also adopted the Family Literacy Program at Church of Peace. The program was formerly managed by Blackhawk College and serves immigrant and refugee families, providing literacy instruction and helping them assimilate into our community. When the college lost state funding, Spring Forward stepped in to ensure families still had the important resources they need. And for that reason, they have this award tonight. Please join me in giving them a hand.
Hello, everyone. If the board of directors for the Hallberg, or Friends of Hallberg Civic Center, or I don't know, the board or Deb or whomever, you all want to cram in here, you're more than welcome. Come on in. So I have the honor this evening of speaking about the Friends of Hallberg Civic Center. I am also a proud member of the Friends of Hallberg Civic Center. Few organizations have worked as swiftly as the newly formed Friends of Hallberg Civic Center. For the organization's readiness to answer the city's call to partner in tending to the beloved Denkman-Hallberg estate, the Friends of Hallberg Civic Center have been awarded this year's Rock Island Citizen of the Year Award. Having only existed for little more than a year, the Friends of Hallberg Civic Center have demonstrated their commitment to preserving the historic Denkman-Hallberg Tulip Mansion by logging more than 1,500 hours of volunteer time, revealing and refinishing hardwood floors, repairing aging windows, and tending to the surrounding woods. The Friends of Hallberg Civic Center Board of Directors feel as though they are breathing life into the Hallberg family's dream that the property be used as a community center. And the dramatically increased number of event rentals is a testimony to their success. This unique public-private partnership has brought civic participation and historic preservation to the forefront of the Rock Island ethos, and they've only just begun. So, thank you very much, Friends of Hallberg Civic.
In the professional category, our recipient this year is the Reverend Stacy Fiddler. Stacy, would you come forward, please? And Stacy, I want you to know the fact that my grandfather was a Lutheran minister who graduated from the Augustana Seminary had nothing to do with how I voted. So Stacy is the longtime pastor of St. John's Lutheran Church and has been a resident of Rock Island for the past 20 years. The person who nominated Stacy states that in her tenure as pastor of the church, she has led many efforts that have helped to make Rock Island a better place. Stacy serves on the boards of Trinity Unity Point and the Victor and Doris Day Foundation. Under her direction, the church gave $10,000 to the Highway Career Construction Training Program, which is a pre-construction job training program for women, minorities, and low-income individuals. Stacy is the chairperson of the Community Caring Conference and the president of Churches United in our area. She works with the Anti-Violence Coalition and is also a member of the NAACP. Stacy is a cancer survivor that likes to weave, sew, read, walk, and most of all, spoil other people's children. Stacy loves pastoring a church that is community-minded. She feels this is fulfilling the Great Commission that was given by Jesus. On behalf of the citizens of Rock Island, we love that Stacy is community-minded and has such a love for all the people and the citizens of Rock Island. Thank you, Stacy, for all you do for our community.
Would Mr. Matt Stern please join me up here? Having demonstrated his genuine personal commitment to the betterment of Rock Island, Matt Stern has received this year's Citizen of the Year award. Mr. Stern of the Stern Beverage family business lived in Rock Island for most of his life. He is a product of the Rock Island school system and proud of it. After living in New York City and Tokyo, Japan, Mr. Stern decided to move back to his hometown of Rock Island to help with the family business. Since his return, he has invested his time and personal wealth in Rock Island. He is dedicated to historic preservation and putting Rock Island on the map. Mr. Stern's choice of commitment to Rock Island, Mr. Stern's choice of investing in our downtown and purchasing and renovating the Stern Center has demonstrated his true ability and commitment to Rock Island. Mr. Stern also participates in many activities, such as serving on directors on numerous boards and commissions, including chairman of the American Bank and Trust of Rock Island, and he also coaches the Little Rocks football team. It's my pleasure and proud to say that Matt Stern is our Citizen of the Year in the individual category.
Hello. May I have Mykesha Wells come up? Mykesha Wells is an inspiring young lady with a genuine concern for her peers. She is very involved in many organizations that positively impact this community. Mykesha is not only a member of the 4-H club, but also serves as a team teacher and is a team hunger ambassador. She is part of their Youth Voice team. Mykesha has been a member and coordinator of an organization called Girls Leading the Way for the past year, and also sits on the state commission board for summer academics for the University of Illinois. Her absolute favorite thing to do is volunteer and be a positive influence to those around her, especially the youth. Mykesha's motivation to get involved is seeing people happy. She has a desire to pay it forward. Mykesha told me through her tears that she loves to help others because others helped her family when they were down and struggling. Mykesha is a wonderful example to the youth of this community. And for that, give her a round of applause.
Hello, me again. Would Mr. John Grip please step up here? Parks and Rec Director here for the City of Rock Island. The Parks and Recreation Department is one of Rock Island's greatest amenities, and the success of the newly established Department Director, John Grip, has only reinforced this fact. For this reason, John Grip is being awarded the Citizen of the Year Award from the City of Rock Island. A native of Rock Island, Mr. Grip is proud to serve the community as Parks and Recreation Department Director. Since becoming the new director, Mr. Grip has prioritized transparency and including Rock Island residents in the department's plans. He has been a member of the Illinois Parks and Recreation Association for 18 years, serves as a non-voting member of the Rock Island Parks Foundation, board member for the Friends of Friends of Douglas Park, too many friends, and is a member of the Friends of Harburg Civic Center. Much credit is given to Mr. Grip for pursuing such public-private partnerships with local communities, and the department's balanced budget demonstrates his dedication to creative problem-solving and cooperation. Thank you very much, Mr. Grip.
Would
Christine Schmidt please join me up here? Individual category is honorary Rock Island Citizen of the Year. That means they don't live in Rock Island. Ms. Schmidt was nominated, though, by a Rock Island High School student. Christine Schmidt is the founder and president of It's All Love, Only Love Coalition. It takes up most of her time when she's not raising her family. She volunteers and speaks for free all over about suicide. She has spoken to over 10,000 students, and that does not include the countless parents she has also spoken with. It is not uncommon to hear from students, "She saved my life." She gets numerous phone calls from family members that just need to talk. The organization hosts support gatherings and fundraiser walks to raise awareness. Christine knows firsthand the impact of suicide on a family. Her 12-year-old daughter, Morgan, died by suicide 3 years ago. She belongs to the National Alliance for Mental Illness and American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. She created the It's All Love, Only Love Coalition to address the problem of suicides and their families. She is just a mom who cares. It is a true ministry of the heart. It is my honor and privilege to bestow this award.
Now, if we could, we'd like everybody to get up front with the mayor and our 2 aldermen representatives and get a picture of all the citizens of the year. Squeeze in.
People back and start in front. That's exact. I may need to move up just a little bit. Let's keep back there. Photographers will have to make sure we get everybody in. Is the microphone in the way there, all right? Am I blocking it?
Historical records, folks.
On behalf of the City of Rock Island and the Rock Island Labor Day Parade Committee, we wanted to recognize another individual, who has been a very important role model and citizen to our city in many ways. He was a former, alderman, teacher, father, husband, and grandfather. I had the privilege of working with him for many years at Rock Island High School. And I told myself I wouldn't cry, so let me Chuck Austin was a very special member of the community who lived a life that demonstrated exactly what we mean when we talk about Citizen of the Year. He lived his life serving his community, whether it was teaching the youth, serving on community organizations, representing our citizens on the city council, volunteering, or cleaning up trash. There probably wasn't a day that didn't go by that I didn't see him and his wife, Ann, out walking the streets, picking up trash in the city. How many people can say they do that? So we wanted to dedicate the parade, the Rock Island Labor Day Parade this year, to him. However, his family wanted us to change it and say that they would be a part of the Rock Island Clean and Beautiful organization in the parade this year in tribute to his honor. So they would like everyone to know that that parade entry is a tribute to their dad, their husband, their family. So with that, we would just like everyone to know that members of the Austin family will be part of the parade entry, and we ask you all to continue to keep the city clean in his honor. The Rock Island Labor Day Parade will be held, as the mayor said, September 4th at 9:30. And you know what? We are so blessed that we have an old-fashioned Labor Day parade that celebrates who? You. You, Rock Island, each and every one of you, whether you're a business, an organization, a church, a family, a resident, we celebrate you. And we thank the mayor and the council for continuing to support this parade and its effort. We get entries from all over, for as far as Muscatine and Davenport, and we are so blessed. So I hope that all of you will come out. And in honor of our theme this year, it's Sing. So we're going to have, for the first time, a reviewing stand right at the corner of 30th Street and 18th Avenue, where anybody who's an entry or would like to be an entry, make sure you contact me, and we will let you sing for 45 seconds. Only because we have to keep the parade moving. So we'll start you at 45 seconds, keep you going, and there will be a special award for some citizens, or whoever the citizens in the audience decide should receive one. But we're happy that all of you are a part of the parade, whether you come, whether you're in it, or whether you just support it. We hope to see you all there. Now, you know that each one of these citizens are going to be a special guest at our parade, but you should also know that the overall Citizen of the Year becomes the Grand Marshal of the parade. So, you know that it's very, very difficult to choose. You heard all the wonderful speeches about these wonderful people that we are so grateful are a part of our city, but we have to choose only one. And when you hear how this year's winner founded the Place to Be, a homeless teen center in Rock Island, you will know why Stacy Fiddler was selected. Come on down, Stacy. All right. Stand there for a while. Stacy, we're so proud of you and appreciative for all you do for our city and its residents. You helped co-found Winnie's Place, which provides assistance to women and children in need. You were involved in opening the Micah House. This is a partnership with Augustana College in which students from college who live in Rock Island volunteer their time to justice-oriented projects throughout the year. Stacy feels her greatest contributions are the St. John's, the work they've done, St. John's in the Keystone area with their after-school programs. Do you know, just this past year, under her leadership, the church started a free food pantry library outside the church where people can come 24/7 and get food, books, and other items that they need. When Stacy was asked why she gets involved, she said that she loves bringing people together and finding ways to support the city. Her motivation is living in a community that provides people with a way to live their best self. Stacy has been called the community pastor. She often comes out to officiate funerals for low-income families, children, or teens that are victims of suicide, and she does it all free of charge. Stacy is committed to making our community a better place and showing the heart of Christ. You are the perfect example of what it means to be a Citizen of the Year, and we're proud to have you as our Grand Marshal at the Rock Island Labor Day Parade.
Wow, isn't that wonderful? A lot of great things, great people. Appreciate that very much, everybody's dedicated efforts.
If people need to leave, you can leave now. That we don't want you to, but
Dave, I thought they were going to stay for the whole thing.
Well, that government as much as we do?
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't here for the financial management.
Turn on TV.
No, I didn't think anyone wanted to say
Our TV viewership's going down.
I think we might have happier citizens if we left them. You're all staying up here, Daddy.
Exactly. Stephanie, they wanted to stay for your presentation, but Dave chased them away.
That's a tough act to follow.
That
after
is a
that.
tough one. That is.
Half crying and
We'll give it just a few more minutes here, and then we'll.
We've got a plaque for you,
Yeah, we got a plaque for you.
Stacy, Stephanie. Got a plaque for you.
Bond payments.
You get a plaque, you get a plaque, everybody gets a plaque.
Going full Oprah Winfrey on this.
Hey, Kai, would you mind closing those doors for me, please? Thank you.
It's all right.
Very good. Okay, I think we can do it. Item number 8.
Presentation of the financial management report for the second quarter 2017.
thank you. So this report is for the second quarter of 2017, and this being halfway through our fiscal year, our benchmark is 50%. The first schedule is our revenues and expenditures and net position. This two-page report reflects each and every one of our funds or a grouping of funds if they're like funds together. Government-wide, the city is reporting 35% revenues received through June 30th and 33% of expenditures. Expenditures do exceed revenues by $1.2 million, and cash available is $28.5 million. Our largest fund is the general fund. And general fund revenues are at 39% of budget, and expenditures are at 46% of budget. By and large, any of the funds that do have property tax revenue, such as the general fund, the TIF funds, library, and parks, are all running a little behind the 50% benchmark because of the way the timing of tax distributions come from the county. Usually at June, we may have received one payment at that point. One fund I wanted to point out that's either high or real low is the TIF fund. The TIF fund is currently reporting 4% of expenditures, and that is because of the timing of debt service payments and rebates to developers and any of our partners in the TIFs. The other one I wanted to point out on this page is our debt service expenditures, also low at this time. We do pay our debt service June 1st and December 1st, December 1st being the payment that also includes the principal portion of our debt service. The second page of this report, you do see that waterworks and wastewater treatment funds are both below budget in revenue and expenditures, and that is due to the timing of our IEPA loan funded projects work that is getting underway here as we proceed into the fiscal year. At the bottom of that report, just wanted to point out the pension trust funds are at 85% of budgeted revenues. They are doing well at this point during the year, and hopefully that trend will continue through December 31st. This next schedule is actually a new schedule. We just rolled out for this quarterly report. Because the general fund expenditure is general fund is the largest of our funds. Focusing on the expenditures by department is a good thing to do. As I mentioned earlier, 46% of expenditures are recorded through June 30th, and here you can see those expenditures by department and what is supported by the general fund. All right, one of my favorite parts of this report is our state and local tax revenue analysis. This analysis covers 9 of our taxes, and it gives you some history, some 5-year average, along with the current year budget, and it's a simple mathematical formula that actually annualizes the payments to date through the end of the fiscal year. Of these 9 taxes that we analyze every quarter, 8 of them support general fund operations and make up 65% of our general fund revenue. So on this first page, income tax and replacement tax. On the surface, income tax appears to be on track to meet budget, but we do have to remember that we've received new news just recently in the last few weeks that the state has cut the distribution to municipalities by 10% in their current fiscal year that starts July 1st. So that affects the second portion of our fiscal year, the year we're in now, and then the first half of CY18. In addition, replacement tax looks like it's ahead of budget, but we do have to keep in mind that the schedule does annualize the payments to date, and replacement tax is actually not received every month. There's 8 distributions per year, and this is another area where we got some bad news recently, and that is that the state just told us, I think it was last week or the week before, that this revenue source will be cut 23%.
Stephanie, do you have not to jump to the end here, but do you have a sum total of what we should expect for this year and a projection for next year, what that looks like?
We are working on the CY 2018 budget now and have taken into account these changes that the state has given us. I don't have the total off the top of my head.
But are we talking several $1 million here?
Mm-hmm. So the next page with sales tax and local option sales tax, these are both running below budget and below last year distributions. Sales tax being impacted by the closing of Kmart, but also we were notified 2 months ago or so that the state was going to be recouping $82,000 of sales tax that we had received previously as a result to a taxpayer's audit that revealed that they had paid too much sales tax. And then in addition, some more new, not so great news from the state that with their passing of their budget recently, they are imposing a 2% administrative fee on our local option sales tax. So basically, they collect that tax for us and distribute it to us. And so that 2% impacts us about $45,000 a year. All right. Use tax and municipal utility tax. This is good news, actually. So these are tracking on budget. Use tax continues to increase, which has been nice over the past few years. Municipal utility tax, though, and telecom tax, the next tax we're going to look at, have declined over the years. So municipal utility tax, we have lowered our budget, but it looks like we budgeted conservatively and things are looking good there. Telecom tax, we are trending off of budget, but not significantly. Another good news is food and beverage tax is tracking on budget this year. The 9th tax that we will look at right now is gaming tax, and gaming was trending below our budget earlier in the year, but has kind of taken a turn upward, and we received a pretty healthy distribution in the month of June for our gaming tax. we budgeted this year to receive $3.9 million, and it looks like we'll trend over that, which is good. Right, we have two more reports as part of our quarterly financial report. This one is our capital and major project expenditure report, and then we have an investment report. The capital and major project expenditure report lists each of the budgeted projects by department. And I'll just kind of scroll through here to the second page is where Public Works starts, and Public Works is by and large the largest portion of this report, to the tune of about $35.6 million of our $38.4 million of budgeted projects. Year to date, we're at 26%. Two pretty big projects, the water treatment facilities getting underway. And then we also still have some long-term control plan related projects underway as well. The last report of this evening is our monthly investment totals report. Balances are as expected. You can see kind of a trend this point during the year. These 3 months cash kind of just sort of creeps up. April, May, and June. We're at $28 million at June 30th, and then it kind of drops off as we go through the end of the year, and projects are paid for, and those December 1st debt service payments are paid as well. Are there any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. There's no questions. Stephanie? All right. Item number 9.
Proclamation declaring September 2017 is National Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month.
Jody, if you want to step up there and I'll read this, and Jody has been very instrumental in this cause for a number of years and started a foundation a number of years ago, so she's very sincere about this and committed. So we have a proclamation, whereas September is a National Ovarian Cancer Awareness, got to get in the right line, Awareness Month. Ovarian cancer is the insidious and extremely deadly form of cancer that affects 1 in 75 women in their lifetime. And whereas if ovarian cancer is detected early, there is a 92% chance of survival, which drops to only 20 to 25% if the cancer spreads without treatment. And whereas the symptoms of ovarian cancer are common across many illnesses and are very general, often leading doctors to misdiagnose their patients when they do not receive appropriate treatment. And whereas there are no completely reliable screening tests for ovarian cancer and no cures, and whereas ovarian cancer is not given the same amount of attention in the media as other cancers that also affect women, such as breast cancer, despite ovarian cancer being extremely deadly, and whereas the best hope of beating ovarian cancer currently is early detection, and the women should be informed of the symptoms, assess their personal risks, and should request testing for ovarian cancer if they have any persisting symptoms. And whereas reliable screening tests for ovarian cancer should one day become a regular part of every woman's gynecological exam, and whereas during this month of September, we recognize the victims and survivors of ovarian cancer and acknowledge the work that still needs to be done to help women fight this deadly disease. Now, therefore, I, Mike Tomes, Mayor of the City of Rock Island, do hereby proclaim the month of September 2017 as National Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month.
Well, thank you very much, Mayor Tomes and council members and my neighbors in Rock Island. I really can't add much to what has been put in this proclamation. However, I do invite everyone to join us on September Tuesday, September 19th for one of our sessions at the public library, the downtown Rock Island Library, at 6 p.m. on ovarian cancer, and to take care of some of the issues that are happening in our community. It's also funded by a Rock Island gaming grant, so I hope you can join us then. I've given some information out to you. If Mr. Geenan, you would please collect it afterwards, and I'll stop by your office and pick it up. I would really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jordan. All right, item number 10.
Proclamation reaffirming community's shared values of compassion, inclusion, respect and dignity, and diversity, and condemnation of all acts of hatred and violence.
And Mayor, if you wouldn't mind if we could come stand.
Would love to have that. And then there's somebody here to receive as Bob, or somebody, oh, there you are over there. If you would, I'll read this, and those who wish to gather together behind here can do that. Okay. A photo deal here and support, unity and support here. This proclamation has been, is also been endorsed by other cities. The cities, East Moline, Davenport, and now Rock Island, they're all just about the same. And so it once again shows unity within the Quad Cities for this, this issue. Whereas equality, inclusion, and safety of all persons is a core value in the city of Rock Island and is the condemnation of any hateful, verbal, rhetoric, or physical acts of hatred, discrimination, violence, or other forms of prejudge by any individual or groups. And whereas we know that communities succeed and achieve their best potential when all persons are welcomed, and whereas we are committed to the human rights provisions of the Constitution of the United States of America and to the state of Illinois that protect civil liberties and provide equal protection under the law. And whereas we celebrate our community's diversity and welcome all residents who live here, regardless of their national origin, color, religion, sexual orientation, or gender identity, race, age, disability, or financial and social economic status. And now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Mike Tomes, Mayor of the City of Rock Island, along with the members of the City Council, reaffirm our community's shared values and compassion, inclusion, respect, and dignity of our commitment to building a community in which diversity is valued and everyone has the opportunity to thrive, and we encourage the citizens of Rock Island to likewise affirm these values and inclusion and condemn all acts of hatred and violence of any kind.
This actually is an effort that is undertaken by a local new organization, One Human Family QCA. It's a collaborative of clergy and civic leaders in the Quad Cities that have come together after the Southern Poverty Law Center documented nearly 1,100 incidents hated. And we said we've got to do something about it. Rock Islanders should be proud, very proud, to say that they're from the Quad Cities. This is the only region in the country that I know of that is stepping forward and saying, no, we are a welcoming and safe and diverse community, and we respect each other here. So I think you folks deserve a standing ovation. We're proud of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. It looked like you had a good, good event down in Streeter Park the other day. So that was great. That's right. That's great. You had a good MC. Yeah. All right. Item number 11.
An ordinance authorizing the issuance of 2 series of unlimited tax general obligation bonds, Series 2017A, for the financing of roadway improvement projects at an estimated cost of $2,500,000, and refunding of all or a portion of the outstanding general obligation bonds, Series 2008A and 2009B, and Series 2017B for the refunding of all or a portion of the outstanding general obligation bonds, Series 2008B and 2009A.
Motion to pass the ordinance.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Spargettis.
Yes.
Talanair.
Yes.
Parker.
Aye.
Ship.
Aye.
Geenan.
Aye.
Mayberry.
Yes.
6 ayes, no nays. Motion carried.
Item number 12.
A special ordinance declaring certain city-owned vehicles and equipment as surplus and providing for disposal of same.
Motion to suspend the rules and pass the ordinance.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Spargettis.
Yes.
Talanair.
Yes.
Parker.
Aye.
Ship.
Aye.
Geenan.
Aye.
Mayberry.
Yes.
6 ayes, no nays. Motion carried.
Item 13.
A special ordinance amending Chapter 16, Article 5, Section 16-910, Water Resources Advisory Committee of the Code of Ordinances, deleting the section in its entirety.
Motion to consider, suspend the rules, and pass the ordinance.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Alderman Spargettis.
Yes.
Talanair.
Yes.
Parker.
Aye.
Ship.
Aye.
Geenan.
Aye.
Mayberry.
Yes.
6 ayes, no nays. Motion carried.
Item 14.
A special ordinance establishing a handicap parking space at 2735 8.5 Avenue.
Motion to consider, suspend the rules, and pass the ordinance.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Spargettis.
Yes.
Talanair.
Yes.
Parker.
Aye.
Ship.
Aye.
Geenan.
Aye.
Mayberry.
Yes.
6 ayes, no nays. Motion carried.
Item 15.
Claims A through F. Report from the Human Resources Department regarding payment in the amount of $18,671.59 to Dave Morrison of Rock Island, Illinois, for legal services rendered for the month of July. B, report from the Human Resources Department regarding payment in the amount of $1,453.87 to Tina Waltman of Rock Island, Illinois, for general liability claim. C, report from the Human Resources Department regarding payment in the amount of $19,917.33 to Broadspire of Atlanta, Georgia, for workers' compensation settlement. D, report from the Public Works Department regarding payment in the amount of $45,878.45 to Brandt Construction Company of Rock Island, Milan, Illinois, for an emergency water main relocation on Blackhawk Road and 29th Street. E, report from the Public Works Department regarding payment number 2 in the amount of $746,465 to Langman Construction Incorporated of Rock Island, Illinois, for the 9th Street resurfacing 31st Avenue to 45th Avenue project for services provided from July 1st, 2017 through August 14th, 2017. And F, report from the Public Works Department regarding payment number 12 and final in the amount of $4,400 to Civil Constructors Incorporated of East Moline, Illinois, for the Farm Wall Storage Tank Project for services provided through January 31st, 2017.
Move to accept the reports and authorize payments for claim items A through F as recommended.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion?
I want it recorded on record. I'll be abstaining from item C.
I have
Do we have to redo a motion for that?
Yeah, do I have to withdraw my second? Oh, wait, no, I made the motion. Okay, I withdraw the motion. I thought I seconded that, sorry. Yeah, I will withdraw my motion and I will move to accept reports. You were cutting out a C? Mm-hmm. Okay, A, B, D, E, and F. And authorize payments for claim items A, well, what I said, as recommended.
Second that.
Okay, that's been moved and seconded for all items underneath 15 except for C. Is there any discussion?
Yes, I have questions on two items. I got, firstly, on item D, I got a phone call asking me some questions that I wasn't able to answer late this afternoon. And I guess the question is, what is the nature of the water main relocation and why was it an emergency?
Let Larry answer that question.
Regarding the water main relocation there on Blackhawk Road, it was an emergency from a fire and safety aspect. We had a business owner that just transformed the Herman screen printing into a climate-controlled self-storage. The original intent was to draw a private fire service underneath Blackhawk Road from the north side water main. Unfortunately, they did attempt to do so in two different locations using boring equipment. Because of the bedrock, they were not able to do so. With the Jayco's fire that took place next door, we did identify that there was what they call a Siamese water connection, but we're not able to locate the water main itself. So we had a building that was getting ready to be opened and a time constraint from a fire inspection that could not have fire service. So we had to do kind of an emergency repair or relocation, I'm sorry. For the simple fact that the drawings we had did not identify exactly where the water main ended underneath Blackhawk Road for the section that did extend to the south. And so a time and material bid was the best option we could. We didn't have enough information to put it out strictly for a bid. And again, it was kind of on a time constraint with the fire inspection and opening of the business.
I appreciate that explanation. That's much better than I could have
Sure.
done. And then still on item D, I know this has been discussed before, but it seems like it's an unresolved issue in terms of Brandt Construction Company and the status of the, I guess, the legal issue with the previous 6th Avenue, was it?
Well, the contract is still open, so there's currently no legal issue. The council voted earlier this year to have Brandt on the rotation for emergency contractors.
And is there still pending issues, though, that are not resolved yet?
Correct. The contract has not been closed out yet, so we're in the final stages, but it isn't closed completely.
And is there a reason why we only have 3 contractors on that emergency list?
Those are the only 3 contractors in Rock Island. You have to have a business presence in Rock Island in order to be on the emergency contractor list,
okay,
unless the council votes differently.
So I know there's been some discussion in the past about it. I don't know if other council members are comfortable with continually extending this, or do we need to make some changes as far as the list is concerned? Does it have to be Rock Island contractors?
Of course, that issue could be separate then from this motion here, as far as these payments.
Yeah, there probably is only one contractor you could add to that list that would be able to do that work. It's an Illinois contractor.
Okay, so then that's the end of my questions on item D, unless there's any other comment on that. Then I was going to ask.
Yeah, I did have a question about D. Piggybacking off of your original question, I guess why did the time constraint happen? In the business going in there and starting new, I guess why did we get to a point where we had to have it be an emergency thing, where it was like, oh, hey, what's going on? I mean, part of permitting process or anything? I mean, I'm not familiar with how that works. So.
Valid question, and a lot of it was because of delay from the state in getting a permit. We did go to the state once we realized that we could not bore underneath Blackhawk Road. We did assist Mr. Stroud with going to the state and asking for permission to open cut Blackhawk Road. They denied that claim, or they denied that request. So the permitting we had did take some time to get through that process, and we wanted to explore all options before we had to go to the final emergency process.
And by doing an emergency repair, you don't come to council for awarding a bid and having us vote on that. So what would have been the delay if you would have put it out for a bid and then had the council vote on it?
At least a month to 6 weeks.
There was really no way to put this out for a bid because we had no idea what we were getting into. So any contractor would have been a time and materials basis. which is what the emergency contractor list is.
Also, it went down to the open house, several were down there. They originally were planning on spraying insulation and not doing an sprinkler system at all. So that was the plan early on, so otherwise, so we didn't have much time. It was at the last minute that they changed from doing that to sprinkler system. If they would have gone in from day one with permits, with sprinkler system, we would have had more time, but once again, they had to change direction that they were going in on the fire protection part of the way through the process.
This is a way to be good to our businesses that are in Rock Island.
It is, and it obviously, now we have a main on the south side of the road for any future business expansion. We do have more water, availability on that south side as well.
Yeah, I think the reservation is just making sure that our emergency bids are emergency and, not, it doesn't necessarily look good or something when it's not. I mean, people think of like a fire or a water line breaking or something like that as emergency. So we just want to make sure that emergency bids are indeed emergency.
Understood.
So, yeah, and so thank you for your work.
Then I had a question on item 18. I'm sorry. That's in the list of claims, right? Number 18.
We're on 15.
Oh, I'm sorry. I jumped ahead. So I don't have any more questions on, but I will have a question on 18.
Okay, fine.
I have not a question, but Larry, while you're there,
sure.
I'd like to commend your staff on 9th Street, 31st Avenue, the 45th. I've had the neighbors and the people that drive up through there, the resurfacing, they love it.
Great.
And I'd like to commend you and your staff for the work that you've done.
Thanks, sir. I'll pass it along.
In a timely manner.
Definitely will do.
Very good. All right, if there's no more discussion, if we could have a roll call, please.
Alderman Spergatis.
Yes.
Talanair.
Yes.
Aye.
Ship.
Aye.
Geenan.
Aye.
Mayberry.
Yes.
6 ayes, no nays, motion carried.
Thank you. We need to now come out, we need a motion for item number C
I'll make that
underneath
motion.
15.
Make that motion to approve item C.
Second.
I moved in second. Is there any discussion on that item? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion on that? If not, could we have a roll call?
Alderman Spergatis.
Yes.
Talanair.
Yes.
Parker.
Aye.
Ship.
Aye.
Geenan.
Abstain.
Mayberry.
Yes.
5 ayes, no nays, 1 abstention. Motion carried.
Thank you. Item number 16.
Claims for the weeks of August 11th through August 17th in the amount of $708,205.58, and August 18th through August 24th in the amount of $372,300.63, and payroll for the weeks of July 31st through August 13th in the amount of $1,489,590.51.
Move to allow the claims and the payroll.
Second.
Been moved in second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Spergatis.
Yes.
Talanair.
Yes.
Parker.
Aye.
Ship.
Aye.
Geenan.
Aye.
Mayberry.
Yes.
6 ayes, no nays, motion carried.
Item 17.
Report from the Public Works Department regarding bids for the purchase of 300 5/8-inch water meters, recommending the bid be awarded to Water Products Company of Aurora, Illinois, in the amount of $21,900.
Motion to award the bid and recommend and authorize the purchase.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Spergatis.
Yes.
Talanair.
Yes.
Parker.
Aye.
Ship.
Aye.
Geenan.
Aye.
Mayberry.
Yes.
6 ayes, no nays, motion carried.
18.
Report from the Community and Economic Development Department regarding bids for a demolition project of 8 residential properties, recommending the bid be awarded to Valley Construction of Rock Island, Illinois, in the amount of $148,445.
Move to award the bid as recommended and authorize city manager to execute and the contract documents.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion?
Question, please.
Yes.
I don't understand why, of the 6 contractors listed, They all have a base proposal, but only one has a contingency and a maximum estimate total. Hi, Chandler.
The reason why we have that on there is it's just a 10% contingency. And if we've done 10% on all of them as well, just take that out and get the final total number. So we only did it on the winning bid.
I understand why there's a contingency and an estimated total, but are you saying that all 6 of them have the same
All of them
10%?
Yes, generally a 10% contingency is put in there.
Okay, that answers my question. I just, because it wasn't filled in down below in the little chart there, I thought only one had a contingency fee and the others did not. Thank you.
You betcha.
While you're up here,
Chandler,
yeah.
for you.
Have at it.
Okay. For the audience here and the people at home, could you give us the addresses of those residential properties? Are you, Randy? People need to know these residential properties that are going to be demolished.
Yeah, I did send all of you a list. Technically, we usually don't like to publish it unless someone asks, because people will dump tires or something in the lots once they find out it's going to be demolished.
Yeah.
But we can read it if you like.
Yes, if you would read it.
Take me a minute to find it here.
You know, we talked about it and you explained that to me, but not to the general public.
Do I have time to ask my question, Randy, or do you have it here?
Yeah, go ahead. I've got to
All right.
pull up my email here, so it'll be a minute.
My question is, I've spoken to some CED staff about judiciary deeds, where we could potentially gain access to some of these properties before they get to a state where you can't do anything but bulldoze them over. Is there any updates on that? Do you have any? I know Moline is doing that, and it's having some good success where the city can get a hold of neglected buildings. And
We have. We've started to explore it, and Dave might be able to fill us in a little bit better on the process where we are and looking at that. It's a great program.
Yeah.
Sure. What we've done is we met with Kara and also Hector and I from the city attorney's office. We also coordinated with Moline because they've been having some success. And I believe that we're planning to have Kara's office was going to provide us with the first one that they thought they wanted to go forward and use it as a test to see how it goes. But we do have the system in place. We're just waiting for the choice of that first building and then fine-tune it.
Excellent.
My question is really quick here to you, Chandler. So we're getting through these properties, and I know the neighbors and the neighborhoods and the individual blocks are going to benefit immensely from getting these properties out of the way. As soon as you have a sense of what's coming up next, because I know there's a particular property in the 6th Ward, I think that's been long overdue on 42nd Street there. I can get you the exact address. I don't want to give it here right now, but there's a lot of interest in seeing that come down, and it looks like a strong wind could get it to fall down the hill. So I just would be interested in knowing, as soon as you start getting the sense of what's on the horizon next, for the next batch, just would like to know, so we can get that back to our constituents.
Absolutely. If you want to contact me later about that property, absolutely. We'll talk to you about it.
Yep.
Still waiting here. Try my phone, maybe.
Will we bid out the judicial deeds then to like a general contractor? How would that work?
If we're taking the properties and then depending on what we're going to do with the properties, I believe that if you're going to be putting city money in, yes, then you would be, you'd have to obviously.
Well, to like sell it. Yeah, okay. So sell it to a developer to then fix it up and.
Sure. I mean, it would, we would then, in that kind of situation, would come up with a development agreement that was acceptable to council that says that these are the items that are going to be fixed. This is the way and manner in which they're going to be fixed. We would bring that to council and then for your approval.
Cool.
Okay, so the properties to be demolished: 4244 14th Street, 2016 9th Avenue, 832 21st Street, 4010 4th Street, 1230 Glenhurst Court, 415 11th Street, 1316 15th Street, and 917 11th Avenue.
Thank you.
Okay.
Now we know where to bring our tires.
Yes. Could I have roll call, please?
Alderman Spargattis.
Yes.
Collinaire.
You bet.
Parker.
Aye.
Ship.
Aye.
Keenan.
Aye.
Mayberry.
Yes.
6 ayes, no nays.
Thank you.
Motion carried.
Item 19.
Report from the Public Works Department regarding an agreement with Mid-American Energy Company for LED streetlight conversion.
Move to approve the agreement utilizing option 1 and option 2 as recommended and authorize city manager to sign the agreement.
It's been moved and second. Is there discussion?
Just want to say thank you to Randy. I know that this council's been talking about this a long time. Our city manager has been moving quickly on a number of big key initiatives. I have felt that for a while now, and thinking about some of the issues we've had with crime and just a general sense of safety, that the city needs to get relit with new lights, and it also is the benefit of the cost reduction to our energy bill. So it's very much two birds, one stone here, and I'm happy to see it on the agenda tonight.
I guess as Virgil would probably put, to tell the public out there, one of the options, we're going to execute both of them. One is as streetlights get burned out, they replace it with LED. The other one is that we can designate certain blocks or series of blocks to be replaced all at one time for look and everything else, just for the public to know
Real good.
And I'd
what
be
the
happy
two
to
options we're doing.
7th Avenue from 38th Street to 46th Street as a willing participant for that pilot program. Thank you.
You're volunteering to go up there and change them?
Yeah,
or is that-
exactly.
Be happy to, Virgil. I'll put the hard hat on.
And I'll run the cherry picker.
Okay. If we could have a roll call, please.
Alderman Spargattis.
Yes.
Collinaire.
Yes.
Parker.
Aye.
Ship.
Aye.
Keenan.
Aye.
Mayberry.
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays. Motion carried.
Item 20.
Okay, before I read item 20 and 21, the motion has been modified to be as follows. Motion whether or not to approve the development agreement as recommended, authorize the city manager to execute the contract documents subject to minor attorney modification, and refer to the city for an ordinance on number 20. In item number 21, the motion, again, authorize the city manager to execute the contract documents subject to minor attorney modification. Item number 20, report from the Community and Economic Development Department regarding a development agreement with Friendship Manor for the donation of city-owned property at 2107 and 2117 11th Street for the construction of a neighborhood green space entryway.
I move to approve the development agreement as recommended, authorize the city manager to execute the contract documents subject to minor modifications, and refer to the city attorney for an ordinance.
Second.
Moved to second. Any discussion?
I just want to make a comment. This is a good plan, and it's a win-win for the city and for Friendship Manor. It's going to be a nice development.
Absolutely.
I'm just curious now. Can you give us the nature of what the minor modifications are?
For instance, sometimes whenever we attach a legal description, they might say the southwest corner of the northeast is 25 feet, and you might look at it and then it might become the 23 feet, those types of things. So generally speaking, it's only for those types of modifications to make legal description changes, those types of things. And to make sure, for instance, if we were talking about rental of 82.5 acres and it ends up being 82.75 acres, that we don't have to come back to council for those modifications.
Sounds good to me.
Roll call, please.
Alderman Spargattis.
Yes.
Collinaire.
Yes.
Parker.
Aye.
Ship.
Aye.
Keenan.
Aye.
Mayberry.
Yes.
6 ayes, no nays. Motion carried.
Item 21.
Report from the Community and Economic Development Department regarding a lease agreement with Scott Dockstetter for farming on city-owned property on Big Island for a total of $6,652.80 for 2017.
Motion to approve the lease agreement and recommend and authorize the city manager to execute the contract documents.
Second.
With minor adjustments.
with minor adjustments as well.
Second again.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Yes, is this the same person we've been leasing? This is someone new, right? Okay. Could you briefly give the description? When we say Big Island, we know part of Big Island is Milan, but this is the part that's Rock Island. Is this the Jumers Crossing part or no?
It is. It's the land there next to the expressway and the interstate.
Okay. Thank you. That's what I thought it was. Want to be sure.
This is for farming next summer?
He's going to prep this winter and get everything in order, and then plant in the spring.
So in 2018, will we have to come back, or?
No.
No, this is a total.
Okay.
Total. Yeah.
And if any potential for development for Jumers Crossing should occur, I imagine the agreement here includes some sort of right for the city to develop it.
It does, and I don't remember that exact language, but typically it's we would pay him for the price of the crops or the whatever he's put into the property at that point.
And that's correct. There's a provision in there that indicates that we would give him notice and how we would serve notice upon him, and then depending on what stage he was with the crops and what amount of money he had invested at that point, then we would pay him for the price of those items.
Helicopter rides.
Roll call, please.
Alderman Spargattis.
Yes.
Talanier.
Yes.
Parker. Ship.
Aye.
Geenan.
Aye.
Mayberry.
Yes.
6 ayes, no nays, motion carried.
Item 22.
Report from the Community and Economic Development Department regarding a special ordinance providing for the sale of city-owned property at 2711 18th Avenue to Rock Island Coffee, LLC.
Motion to consider suspend the rules and pass the ordinance.
Second.
Moved and second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Alderman Spargattis.
Yes.
Talanier.
Yes.
Parker.
Aye.
Ship.
Aye.
Geenan.
Aye.
Mayberry.
Yes.
6 ayes, no nays, motion carried.
Item 23.
Report from the Community and Economic Development Department regarding a request from Sean Woking to apply for a special use permit to operate an automotive window tinting and vinyl wrap business out of his garage at 2933 27th Avenue.
Motion not to allow the application of the special use permit as recommended.
Second.
Moved and second. Is there discussion on this?
I'm aware that I believe that all the members of the council received the same letter to our home addresses, and probably the mayor as well. There was a very sincere, organized effort to gauge the immediate neighborhood on this issue. It seemed like it was almost unanimous in opposition to it. I wanted to state that, for the record, I am generally always in favor of the home being used as a means of production and income whenever it's acceptable to the neighborhood and to the zoning laws. And I think in this particular case, because the nature of the business involves vehicles, relies on vehicles coming in, that is generally the single deterring factor for us to approve these in terms of our past precedent. The individual who's applying for this, I would strongly encourage them to reach out to Chandler Poole in our Community and Economic Development Department. If the business is successful, if there's CURLIF loan money available to help jumpstart that, to get it out of the home and into a spot downtown, into the, whichever ward it would work. Let's get them to open up a shop and take the business to the next level if we can.
Right, and I would encourage people to, before they open a business, they should actually come and apply for the special use permit before.
Exactly.
Once again, it's a lot better to go through that process, talk to the neighbors, do the application before you open a business versus afterwards and then come in and backfilling. So it's a little easier process. So encourage citizens to do that. All right, any other discussion?
Well, this is not a public hearing, but I thought maybe some of the people who were here for this particular issue, if there's either the applicant or the neighborhood residents, if one or two people wanted to make a comment.
Yeah, typically we don't do that now. If we were to allow, take it further to a application, that's the public opportunity.
Very well.
Versus this one.
The meeting they want.
Certainly.
Yeah.
I'd I'd like to amend the motion to include that the production of work at this location cease as soon as possible.
That might be out of the purview or the scope of this at this time. I understand what you're saying, Steve. I think we should investigate if what is happening is able to be permitted and permissible.
Well, okay, but, and I guess this isn't the forum to argue it, but if it was permitted already, we wouldn't be talking about it.
Right.
So they're already in violation of doing it. And then somewhere down the road, I've been informed that there's a policy that we allow them to continue until the applicant process. And that seems foreign.
Well, in this case, if you're not letting the applicant apply, then
Done.
he would not be able to have a business moving forward.
Could the city attorney address it, please?
Sure.
Please?
And if, for instance, we have the municipal code enforcement generally is the first vehicle used in those types of situations where someone is running a business out of a location where they're not supposed to. There are Alan Freese often will go out, cite the property. There are daily penalties that are pretty significant for each day of violation. And so I would agree with what the city manager was saying, which is if they're not going forward with the application process, then any policy about what you let them do during that time frame would really not apply in this case because they wouldn't be able to go forward in that avenue. And also with regard to your very valid concerns about the enforcement of the ordinances of the city of Rock Island, that would be something that generally we would start with at municies and if necessary get an injunction.
Sure.
Okay. Can we have roll call, please? Nope, there is no roll call on this one. I apologize.
And this is, to clarify, this is making a motion to not allow Mr. Wolking to apply for a special use permit.
Correct. Okay. To not apply. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 24.
Report from the Martin Luther King Center regarding requests for a parade, street closing, and sound amplification for their 30th annual King Center Family Fun Day celebration to be held on Saturday, September 30th, 2017, and requesting that food vendor inspection fees and the sound amplification permit fee be waived.
Move to approve the request and waive the fees as recommended.
Second.
Moved in second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Alderman Spargettis.
Yes.
Tollinaire.
Yes.
Parker.
Aye.
Schipp.
Aye.
Geenan.
Aye.
Mayberry.
Yes.
6 ayes, no nays. Motion carried.
Item 25.
Report from the mayor regarding reappointments and appointments to the Water Pollution Control Board, the Stormwater Board of Appeals, the Ethics Commission, the Martin Luther King Jr. Center Board, the Human Rights Commission, the Citizens Advisory Committee, and the Sunset Marina Boaters Advisory Committee.
Move to approve the reappointments and appointments as recommended.
Second.
Moved in second. Is there any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Since we had quite a bit of discussion for the Martin Luther King Center as far as 3 non-residents, could we have the name of the new people that are being appointed? Not necessarily, the non-residents, but who's being appointed to that board now?
Let me, hang on here. We can. Martin Luther King would be, reappointment would be Stephanie Mason, James Kerr, Terry Brooks, and Ivory Clark. And the new appointees would be Dennis Pauly, Ted Pappas, and Tia Rice.
Thank you. Nice.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 26. Thank you.
Events, activity permit requests. A, report from the city clerk regarding an activity permit application for the 33rd Annual Rock Island Labor Day Parade to be held on Monday, September 4th, 2017, from 9:30 a.m. to noon. And B, report from the city clerk regarding an activity permit application from Rock Island High School for their homecoming parade to be held on Friday, September 15, 2017, from 3:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m.
Motion to approve the events as recommended for events items A and B.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 27.
Street closing and sound amplification requests, A through E. A, report from the city clerk regarding a request from Stephen Moeller for a street closing of 22.5 Avenue between 25th Street and 26th Street for a neighborhood block party to be held on Saturday, September 23rd, 2017, from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. B, report from the city clerk regarding a request from the Rock Island Parks and Recreation Department for a street closing of 24th Street between 13th Avenue and 15th Avenue for a vintage football game at Hauberg Field to be held on Sunday, October 15, 2017, from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. C, report from the city clerk regarding a request from Tammy Johnson for a street closing of 13th Avenue between 12th Street and 14th Street for a community gathering to be held on Monday, September 4, 2017, from noon to 4 p.m. D, report from the city clerk regarding a request for sound amplification from St. George Greek Church for their annual Greek Festival to be held on Friday, September 8, 2017, from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. and on Saturday, September 9, 2017, from noon to 11 p.m. at 2930 31st Avenue. And E, report from the city clerk regarding a request for sound amplification from the Refuge Church for their community outreach and revival event on September 14th through the 17th, 2017 at Franklin Field with sound amplification starting on Friday, September 15th from 7 to 10 p.m., Saturday, September 16th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., and Sunday, September 17th from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Move to approve the street closing and sound amplification requests as recommended for items A through E.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We're at other business.
I just wanted to make a sort of a general and very short comment here about some of the questions that Alderman Spurgettis had earlier. I think that one of the things that we've heard consistently, we have a responsible bidder ordinance in this city, and without mentioning any contractors or any projects in particular, I think the interest of this council is seeing some continuity between emergency bidding and the open bidding process, so that the projects that are going through the emergency bidder process are also facing sort of the same scrutiny that we have through the open bidding process. But I think the most concrete thing that we'd like to see as perhaps an amendment to our responsible bidder ordinance that we could get to at a later date is just to make clear that any contractor that is in liquidated damages until that issue is resolved would not be given additional work. And I say this in the most general sense. I don't think that it sends the right message to the contracting community as a whole that you can come sign in a contract with us and whatever issues come up, it doesn't work out, but at the same time, there's going to be other work going your way. I think if we want to have a fair and equitable playing field for all contractors who want to work and have the privilege of working with the City of Rock Island's taxpayer dollars, I think we should say that until those issues are resolved, and we hope to get them resolved and then get them back in the game for fair and open competition and for across all contracts for all contractors. So if this means we wait until this current issue is resolved, then we do that. But I think seeing that continuity and sending that message just to say the expectation is not, we're not asking any contractor to do anything other than what's in the contract. And at the same time, I think we have to protect our interests and our reputation as a city. And that's what I kind of hear Alderman Spurgettis kind of talking about. And I just think that that might be able to put this issue to bed for this council, is to say, because the RBO was born out of a prolonged period of frustration, the responsible bidder ordinance, and maybe our work with that's not quite finished yet. And then in terms of the contractors who were on the emergency contractor list, there was limbo on that with this council. And the way I see it is, if you're a contractor in the Quad Cities, why not be on the list? We say it's Rock Island, Milan companies. What about East Moline companies? What about Davenport companies? If there is a deeper roster to call through, does that give us some time to kind of poke and prod and maybe get different prices, and also just have a deeper roster for 4th of July or December 25th or New Year's if we can't get, one that's on the list. So these are things I've heard from this council, past council, and maybe if we can just wrap those things up, we could get that resolved and move forward as a city.
Okay. Any other comments? I guess I publicly, and they're gone now, but I want to thank the Citizens Advisory Group and the two council members that were served on that. Appreciate that time, efforts, great selections. We hear a lot of negative news at times and everything else, and to see that kind of positive stuff happening in the city of Rock Island is definitely refreshing and shows that there is depth in this city.
A lot of credit goes to our city clerk who did all the administrative work. And
She did a lot of it.
Yes, there's no doubt that. Well, I said
difficult choosing, but
and I know Linda did some, and it was a good group effort. But thank you, Judith, and appreciate the efforts by everybody.
I have one other quick thing under other business. Is Tim still back there behind the? There you are, behind the magic door. If you can pull up that picture of Sunset Marina, there we go.
There you go.
It's too bad the council chambers aren't full like they were a little earlier, but maybe there are people watching from home that can appreciate this. This is a picture I took one day a couple weeks ago while I was down at Sunset Marina. I took a whole series of them and picked this one, showing that the marina, although it might not be 100% occupied and people might not be putting their boats in the water at the marinas at the rate that they used to in the past, not just our marina, but all marinas, because of the change in preferences of trailering your boat rather than having it in a slip. I want to show this because this really shows what the marina looks like. And there was a not very flattering picture in the newspaper maybe a month ago and an article. I'm not taking any issue with what the article had to say. It was accurate, but the picture was extremely inaccurate. I think it must have been taken in the wintertime when there was no boats in the slips at all. So for the council and the people who are still here in the council chambers and the people watching at home, Sunset Marina is alive and well. Thank you.
Thank you. I would assume that she's gone, but signed up to speak is Tammy Close.
She left.
She left. So, and there was nobody else signed up to speak. If there's no other issues, we have item 29.
Executive session, A, 5 LCS 120, Section 2, C11, litigation when an action against, affecting, or on behalf of the particular public body has been filed and is pending before a court or administrative tribunal, or when the public body finds that an action is probable or imminent, in which case the basis for the finding shall be recorded and entered into the minutes of the closed meeting. B, 5 ILCS 120, Section 2, C12, the establishment of reserves or settlement of claims as provided in the Local Governmental and Governmental Employees Tort Immunity Act.
Okay.
Motion to go into executive session for the exceptions cited A and B.
Second.
Second. Any discussion about that?
Roll call.
Roll call. Yep.
Alderman Spargattis.
Yes.
Collinaire.
Yes.
Parker. Schiff.
Aye.
Keenan.
Aye.
Mayberry.
Yes.
6 ayes, no nays. Motion carried.
Thank you. Point of privilege.
Total